Chapter 5. When the sun rose from the horizon, Jordan and Amy were already awake and prepared to search the castle of Iridia. The castle was not very far from where Jordan and Amy had slept. They knew it was going to be a long search for the Sapphire Desire when they would reach the castle. At the same time, they had to be on their guard for any possible attacks from monsters or the Ruin Raiders. Their path to the castle was very clear and straight. "You really think we'll find the Sapphire Desire in the castle?" Jordan asked Amy. "It has to be there," Amy answered. "If it's not there, then the people who lived here a long time ago hid it very well. Once we enter the castle, we'll need to check every nook and cranny in every room. That includes the hallways. It may take us more than one day to search the entire castle given how many rooms it may have." As Jordan and Amy reached the stairway leading up to the castle, they saw a large man in heavy armor walking up to the steps. He stood 7 foot tall and had large muscles. He had brown hair that came down to his shoulders. His eyes were blue, and he had a scar across his face, showing that he had been in battle against someone who fought him with a sword. He was carrying a large warhammer in his arms, which could cause a lot of destruction against anything it would shake. Jordan and Amy thought it may have been Nahor, seeing that he partially matched the description given by Layman the other day. "Nahor, stop right there!" Jordan yelled at the man. "How did you know my name?" the man asked as he turned around. "It's not usual for someone besides another Ruin Raider to know who I am." "We fought your 2 other allies during the time we've been here," Amy answered. "Layman told us who you were. Judging by previously fighting him and Amulek, we concluded that you were Nahor." "You didn't kill my allies, did you?" Nahor asked. "They're still alive," Jordan answered. "We did injure them to the point where they had to retreat from us." "Then I'll make sure I avenge their losses," Nahor said, preparing his weapon to fight Jordan and Amy. "That is, unless you leave Iridia and never return." "We shall do no such thing," Amy replied. "If you do not get out of our way, we shall show you how we defeated Amulek and Layman." "This is new," Nahor said. "Outsiders threatening a Ruin Raider. You two have a lot of guts. However, having lots of guts does you no good if you don't have the brains to compensate." "If I didn't have the brains, we would have been defeated 2 days ago," Amy replied. "This is your last warning, Nahor. Get out of our way or prepare to be injured." "I'll be the one injuring you 2 outsiders," Nahor shouted as he ran down the steps to attack Jordan and Amy. As Nahor was attacking Jordan and Amy, he was evidently using a lot of force with his warhammer. Every time Nahor's warhammer hit the ground, when he missed Jordan and Amy, it felt like the ground shook heavily upon impact. Speed was needed for Jordan and Amy when fighting Nahor, because they knew if Nahor landed even one attack on them, the result would be disastrous. It would be difficult for Jordan and Amy to land any attacks that would do any damage as well, due to the heavy armor Nahor was wearing. The only body parts that Nahor's armor did not protect were his hands, his head, and his legs below the knees. As Jordan and Amy continued to battle Nahor, they found it very difficult to land any hits to his hands and legs. Their only hope was to go for the head. When Nahor missed an attack on Amy, Amy stepped onto the head of the warhammer and attempted to use her spear to hit Nahor's head. However, Nahor saw this coming and lifted his warhammer off the ground. When he did, Amy backflipped off the head of the warhammer and landed unharmed. "You two are very good," Nahor said to Jordan and Amy. "I can see why you were able to defeat Amulek and Layman when you fought them." "In that case, why don't you just let us continue our search?" Jordan asked. "We'll end up defeating you eventually. If you find the Sapphire Desire, you might use it for something that must not happen," Nahor answered. That is why we Ruin Raiders fight to scare people away from Iridia. We will not let the Sapphire Desire fall into the wrong hands." "What's wrong with using it to become rich?" Amy asked. "That's what we plan on using the Sapphire Desire for." "You might be lying to me about that," Nahor replied. "No matter what your true intention is, I cannot allow you to have it." The fight against Nahor continued for Jordan and Amy. The battle was starting to look like a stalemate without any damage being done at all to Jordan, Amy, or Nahor. Nahor's warhammer eventually struck the ground again when trying to hit Amy. Jordan saw an opportunity when this happened. He quickly stood on the head of the warhammer. When Nahor lifted the head of the warhammer off the ground, Jordan leaped towards Nahor and used his sword to slash at Nahor's face. Jordan's attack caused the scar to form that was perpendicular to the scar that already existed on Nahor's face. Blood was pouring out of the newly formed scar. Even for a man the size of Nahor, this pain from the scar was so intense that it caused him to fall to his knees. It was only a matter of time before we landed a hit like that, Jordan said to Nahor. We know how to defeat you now. You might as well give up on trying to injure us. Not bad at all, Nahor said as he was slowly getting up. Someone I fought before did the same thing to me. I see I need to be more protective of myself when attacking. You've won this time. However, you'll have a hard time finding the Sapphire Desire. If we Ruin Raiders cannot find it, what are the chances that you will? We're going on a hunt at this point, Amy replied. We'll find it. When we do, we'll use the wish to become rich. We're not lying about that. We shall see about that, outsiders, Nahor said. If we meet again and you still haven't found the Sapphire Desire, the result of our battle will be much different. I can guarantee you that much. Nahor left Jordan and Amy. With their fight against Nahor finished, Jordan and Amy proceeded to climb the steps towards the castle. The entry to the castle was very large, easily revealing the main hallway to those who would simply look into it. Jordan and Amy entered the castle. As they walked through the main hallway, they were astonished by what they saw. There were many paintings on the walls of the hallway, some of which were damaged slightly, which depicted historical events and battles that Iridia was involved in. It was almost as though the paintings were trying to tell Jordan and Amy what Iridia had been through before it was destroyed. When Jordan and Amy were halfway across the hallway, they saw a man on the other side. He had short gray hair, green eyes, and was wearing armor unlike anything Jordan and Amy previously saw during their time in Iridia. When the man saw Jordan and Amy, he pulled out his sword, unsure if he was going to be attacked. Who are you two? The man asked Jordan and Amy. Are you members of the Ruin Raiders? We are not, Jordan answered. We just fought one of them, however. If you are not Ruin Raiders, then who are you? The man asked. We are villagers of Ward, Amy answered. My name is Amy, and this is my brother Jordan. Who might you be? I am Vice Captain Mark Robertson of the Grand Army of Lemuel, the man answered as he put his sword away. It is very unusual and dangerous for villagers of Ward to be here in a ruined kingdom. You two should return to Ward if you value your safety. We are very conscious of the dangers here in Iridia, Jordan said. We have fought 3 Ruin Raiders and 2 monsters so far, and we are yet to be seriously injured. We have trained hard prior to coming here knowing that such dangers may exist. Tell me then, why have you come to Iridia? Mark asked. What is your purpose for journeying to this ruined kingdom? We are in search for the Sapphire Desire, Amy answered. We want to use the wish to become rich. That is very amusing to hear coming from the two of you, Mark said. I am on a mission from King Alex IX to locate the Sapphire Desire and bring it to him. I can tell you right now that it is not in this castle. I have already searched every room in this castle and was unable to locate it. The only thing I found that might be useful to King Alex IX is this mission. In this mission is a book written in the Iridian language that appears to be in perfect condition. It wouldn't happen to be the same language as the books in the library we found 2 days ago, is it? Jordan asked. There is only one language that is spoken in this kingdom, Mark answered. Very few people today that can read or speak Iridian. King Alex IX is one of those few people who can. But enough talk of the past for now. We seem to have a situation that needs to be resolved. You two are looking for the Sapphire Desire. I am looking for it as well. The difference is that we have different purposes for finding the Sapphire Desire. How about the one who finds it first gets to make the wish on it, Amy suggested. That would present a problem to my mission, Mark replied. King Alex IX is expecting my return to Lemuel soon to give a report on my efforts to find a Sapphire Desire. If I were to let you two continue your search for the Sapphire Desire, and King Alex IX found out that someone else was searching for it when I knew about it, he'd have me locked up in the dungeon for the rest of my life. This is a big dilemma, Amy said. We can't abandon our quest for the Sapphire Desire, but at the same time we don't want to fight you. I have an alternative, Mark said. I want both of you to come with me to Lemuel. We can determine a solution to this dilemma with King Alex IX. As I said, I must give my report on my progress so far to the king, as well as give him this book. What should we do, Amy? Jordan asked his sister. It wouldn't be a wise idea to leave Iridia. If we do, King Alex IX might lock us up when he hears about our search for the Sapphire Desire. We can negotiate with him, Amy replied to his brother. If we refuse to go with Mark, King Alex IX might order an entire army of Lemuel to take our heads. Even if we find a Sapphire Desire and use it to become rich, the money won't help us if we are seen as enemies to a king. I say we should go with Mark for our own safety. Besides, I'm sure King Alex IX will understand our situation. I hope you're right about this, Jordan said to Amy. Vice Captain Mark Robertson will accept your invitation to see King Alex IX at Lemuel, Amy said. All we ask is that you and King Alex IX do not lock us up or execute us for our search for the Sapphire Desire. Very well, villagers of Ward, Mark said. Come with me. We can talk more about the situation on our way to Lemuel. Jordan and Amy and Mark left the castle as well as Iridia. They began to travel eastward toward the kingdom of Lemuel to report to King Alex IX.